So recently there has been a discussion if Asta is ruining the Spade arc. Well, I don't really believe that notion, but I do want to say and give my 2 cents on the topic. So without further ado, let's get into the video about Asta. Big warning, if you come here and think that I'm just going to defend Asta throughout the video, well, you're completely wrong because I have some takes about Asta that I've been saving for this video. The main criticism that comes by Asta ever since this whole Spade arc has started was his maturity. Now, why am I bringing up Asta's maturity in the sense of this war arc? Well, people think that Asta isn't taking this seriously, think that he's acting like a child. People claim that Elf arc Asta has been the best Asta, and post time skip Asta is a disgrace. Now, this is a sentiment that I don't agree with. I think Asta is mature, but he does have his moments. Now, the question may be asked, one, how can I defend Asta and his situation in the Spade arc of his maturity? I think it's a pretty simple answer and question is to see other people from other series or just one series in particular, My Hero Academia. Now, the hero that I have in question for My Hero Academia is Mirio. His way that he got into the war arc, again, I could talk about that in a different video, but the way he was smiling through it all, even though the times were tough. Mirio and Asta have the same thing going for them. They're optimists. They see the brighter future and smile through it all, no matter how tough the going gets. Not saying that Asta is a direct Mirio copy, I just see the comparison. Mirio smiles to reassure people that hope is still there. His smile is there to dim some light on the darkness on some arcs in My Hero Academia. And he knows when it's time to get serious, including the Overhaul versus Mirio fight. But this is going to be the last time I talk about Mirio, but I do want to bring something up, which is pretty fascinating in my opinion. We see in My Hero Academia, Deku has completely turned into a completely different person. He is now different from Deku from Chapter 1. Deku from the war arc. He is Izuku Midoriya, but he is somebody different. And including Yuji Itadori, who basically had his old ideology stripped from him or changed, him just noticing that he cannot save everyone and he is just a Jujutsu sorcerer. I think Black Clover fans see Yuji and Deku go down dark paths and see them change from what they were in Chapter 1. They want Asta to do it now. But they need to understand that Asta doesn't need to develop as of right now. I think what Black Clover fans need to understand is that Asta, yes, he may be static and he may not change, but nothing's forcing him to change. They need to understand that he is not Yuji Itadori. He is not Deku. He is just Asta of the Clover Kingdom. And when people say Asta only has one emotion, which is smiling and being optimistic, they need to look at chapter 262 when Yami got captured and Asta was crying because he was saying that he was just too weak and that he needs to get stronger. Asta has shown that he can cry, that he will show emotion when he needs to. But let's mainly talk about them going into the Spade Kingdom. Now, when Asta jumped in and saved Nock's life, Nock was saying that he was not important, but Asta told him that you are important. Because of you, I was able to get this strength because of you. And now he wants Nock to live and witness the strength that he gave him and helped him achieve. It's because Nock sees a lot of Morgan into Asta. It's a parallel between them both. Morgan always smiled just so he can bring light to everyone, and Asta is smiling through this Spade arc to bring light to this whole situation. We need somebody just like Asta because we can't have just a dark and gloomy arc with no one smiling. Asta is the guy who is going to smile no matter what to bring hope to their side. And I see people have a problem with Asta coming in and smiling and saving Noelle in the current chapter 300. Asta jumped in and smiled to save Noelle because Asta had to reassure her that hope is still there. They can still win this fight. It's because hope is what Asta taught Noelle. If Asta came in gloomy and sad, what would that teach Noelle? Yes, he saved her, but Asta is sad. So Asta had to smile in this situation. Now, there have been some people saying that they want Asta to be more realistic. Now, I'm going to break the news to some of you guys that realistic, it doesn't make a good character most of the times. Just because you're being relatable or being realistic doesn't mean you're a good character. Sometimes, yes, you can, but at other times you can be non-realistic and still be a great character. Now, there is one thing I do want changed about Asta in this whole Spade arc, and it's his involvement in some of these fights. Now, the latest chapter, chapter 300, I'm completely fine with Asta showing up because it made sense because Noelle learned hope from Asta, never giving up. And I'm okay with him jumping in since he is a huge key to stopping Magicula and some of the Dark Triad. But there is just some fights, in my opinion, that Asta should not be in. Now, the main one I'm really talking about is Yuno versus Xenon. Now, I'm going to do this real quickly and put it really bluntly that you guys understand. is that Asta has no involvement with Xenon. He has no beef with him. Even though, yes, he did take Yami, but I feel like this is Yuno's fight to win. Because Xenon was the one who slaughtered half of the Golden Dawn, which was Yuno's family, his squad mates. And now he's here to try to take down Xenon. And I definitely can see a connection between Xenon and Yuno, but again, I have a theory about that, which you guys can go watch. And I feel like if Asta were to show up now, it would defeat the whole purpose of the Yuno versus Xenon hype. I feel like it would defeat the whole purpose of Yuno wanting to get revenge and rescue William Vengeance by beating Xenon. Now, Noct did state that Asta would be the most powerful person, well, the powerful weapon for the Clover Kingdom to have to beat the Spade Kingdom, which he has been. But still, I think Tabata has made this guy broken. Asta has Devil Union, and it's basically a cheat code that he could possibly beat some people in this Spade war arc. Even though granted, yes, Asta hasn't mastered it and it's only 5 minutes, but still, Asta has beaten some high-ranking devils. He has beaten Supreme Devils like Lilith and Nama fuse and blocked a country-level attack from them. Now, I'd like to make a defense here for Asta, is that Asta couldn't catch up to Lilith and Nama when they decided, hey, what if we start running and this guy's time rate runs out? This is definitely a problem if a devil is even smarter than Lilith and Nama, because they weren't really the brightest light bulbs in the shell, and they were able to understand that this guy has a time limit, and if we run away, we could beat this guy. But thanks to Noct, it didn't happen. Now, I think Tabata's trying to set up that Asta might fail using Devil Union against a high-ranking devil or anyone, and he does not have a Noct around him to help hold down the enemy so he can finish the last slash. So this could be a problem for Asta really, really soon, and I hope this is the case, because if Asta comes in just going Devil Union, just whacking some people, I feel like that would make the arc pretty stale. Tabata has tried to point out that if you are faster than Asta, and you can get away from Devil Union for 5 minutes, you can beat him. You can completely beat him, and when he runs out of time, you can defeat him. So this could be a problem for Asta in the future. I hope that is the case, because again, like I said, I do not want him to continue slicing through opponents and use as a scapegoat. But for the question, is Asta ruining the Spade Kingdom war arc? Well, let me tell you guys this. Right now, Asta is not a Deku. He never will be, and that wasn't his goal. And Asta is not a Yuji Itadori. Asta is just Asta, and that's what it's meant to be. He is Asta of the Clover Kingdom. He is Asta, the future Wizard King of Black Clover. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you are new here, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. The bell notification always stay notified whenever I upload. Now, feel free to talk about what I said in this video and give me your point of view if Asta is ruining the Spade arc. If you do have a problem with it, I have a Discord and Twitter, which you can go follow me at, which is going to be in the description down below. My Discord, which I'm going to put in the pinned comment of my new video, which is this. But it has been the Red Cloak. I'm head up out of you guys. Peace out, and I'm out, guys. Peace. Bear us a day, and stay safe.